Great day, great day, great day. Listen, I'm trying to get everybody in here today because we are moving into a new space. Welcoming everybody to Spiritually Speaking, the Spiritual Tea Time. Yep, we're a little bit late today. It's more of it's a tea time because I'm spilling the tea on the things that are spiritual, metaphysical, and esoteric. Ooh, I've been exercising today. It's been so hot here in Arizona, y'all. Why my AC acting like you don't like the weather? It's been doing good for 3 years now. I think I might have to do something. But welcome in, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. So I am, for those of you that are new, I am Sister Afua, Marian Sister Afua. I am a seer, healer, and diviner, and I'm here to share with you the things that are required of you. And we're also going to talk about some topics that may make us feel a little uncomfortable, right? So, when I talk to people, people say things, right? So someone asked me about the difference between voodoo and Ifa, right? And I want to just say this. That kind of question is not something that you want to ask in that way. But check your email. I did respond. I did respond. Everything is about knowing that there's only one presence, one spirit, one holding for spiritual advancement. Hmm? And tonight, we're going to have someone come in that is going to share a little bit. He's Evoy. He's from Ghana. He's Evoy, and he does traditional practices. So in tonight, when we're talking, I want you to understand that there's a multiplicities of expressions of African traditional religions. It's not just one. Ifa is only one, right? Santeria is also one. Lakrume is only one. The Yorubas have their way. The Akan have their way. The Marabous of West Africa in Senegal, Sierra Leone, right? The Babalaos in Nigeria and Niger. All of these are different groups of people that are embracing the traditional practices of our ancestors before the colonization, before the invasion. Hoodoo is an extension of what was being practiced on the continent known as Africa. And I say that very specifically. It was not called Africa initially. So when we talk about that, when we support ourselves in this knowing, it becomes very difficult, very different to understand why Brazil is the way Brazil is, why the Caribbean is the way the Caribbean is, why South America is the way South America is, the way the indigenous cultures are in other places throughout the world. But at the end of the day, Haiti, etc., with voodoo, right? Voodoo, Voddoo, is a European's word because they couldn't pronounce voodoo, which means life, spirit, essence. Okay. So today I'm joined by a very, 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 very special person to me. Very, very special, special, special person to me. Mawu is what I will call him. Mawu is the word for God because we are all that, right? We are all the essence, the likeness. God is forever within us, surrounding us, present and active, working through us as us. So we do not disconnect ourselves from that. That's the first thing you got to understand. We do not disconnect ourselves from that. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, baby, how you doing? So I'm going to upload. Give me 1 second before I bring in my person, our guest for tonight. And I had to bring them in at this. That's why I'm late, because I want to make sure that I could get this person in when it didn't disrupt what they're doing, right? Because there's a time difference. So give me 1 moment. Let me go back into and bring in my sister Afua people, my loyal sister Afua people. And we can make this happen. But anyway, I want to remind people, hey girl, welcome, welcome, welcome. Enjoy yourself. Tell your mommy I said, it's your birthday. It's your birthday. We gonna party because it's your birthday. I party on everybody's birthday. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Yes, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. So if you are new to this site, I am Marian Sister Afua. I'm a seer healer. I am a African traditionalist. I am a purveyor of all the spiritual ways of our ancestors. I believe in the spiritual messages, realms, and things that we do. So listen, I've been everywhere, and I've been qualified, and I've been acknowledged. So welcome in. I'm gonna make y'all know that song called Million Dollar Baby. The best part of that whole song is the hook. I'm gonna make it. He said, I represent my city for so long, but they still can't put me on. But I'm gonna make it. That's real talk. And you know what's crazy? Sometimes I ask myself if that's a self-fulfilling prophecy because the reality is you can make it anywhere you want to make it. You don't need people to approve you. You just need to know that you already approved. Point blank, period. All right, here we go. And purr. Look, that's from my daughter Jelani. Purr. Y'all have one for me. I was trying to I was gonna drive down. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna try to drive up to Vegas, and I was like, surprise y'all. But I was like, if I go, I don't know. I still may do it in the morning. Who knows? Who knows? I may get in my car and drive up. It's only a 3-hour drive. All right. So without further ado, hey baby. I know. I love my baby. Where my baby at? Tell my babies, Auntie, love them. I love you. For real, for real. So without further ado, I want to bring up somebody who's going to be on the side. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Mawu.
Hey, it's a great
How are
day.
you?
How you doing?
It's a great
Very
day
well. How about
indeed.
you?
Good, good,
Yeah.
good. Listen, I know I'm trying to get up there. Just work with me, work with me, work with me. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So tonight, I want to introduce to you Mawu. He is Ebwe from Ghana. He is a spiritualist. He is a healer. He has an echo village called the EB Echo Village that is located in the Volta region of Ghana, aka specifically Pondo, Ghana, which is a very beautiful place. If you ever get there, let me tell you, I went there. And the moment I hit the perimeter of that land, I could feel the spiritual energy. I could feel the cleansing energy. And he's a wealth of knowledge. He is a practitioner of traditional African ways. And so I want to invite y'all. Tonight is going to be a little different. We're going to have a conversation. Y'all going to listen in. And then when you listen in, you're going to ask some questions. And then maybe we can get him to actually do some divinations for you, right? Mawu, tell me about the EB Village, EB Echo Village. Tell me about that, please.
Yeah. So I'd like to use this opportunity to say um, greetings to all your viewers and people who believe in your dream. Now, AB Village is basically an eco village where we are bringing together um, the, the healing prowess of our ancestors using the herbs that have been gone on extinction. So basically, it's a village where you can feel nature. It's a village where you see healing. It's a village where you have plants that gives you life. So basically, it's we're also building some chalets, and the first chalet we're building is called Chalet F4. This is going.
Hey! Afua, 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 Afua,
Yeah,
Afua.
yeah,
She's a girl.
yeah,
That's
of
a
course,
powerful
because
name.
F4 brings life. So
Yes.
that is just the basic one that we are doing now. And it's going to be home for everyone that believes in our ancestors because we know that you cannot grow a tree, we cannot grow without its roots. So
Mm-hmm.
when we know our roots, that is where we see growth. So basically, EB Village is located in Pando in the Volta region, and it's open to everyone. Supreme to everyone. You've been here not once, not twice. You know the healing prowess of the village. So yeah, that is what physically EB village is
I
all
think
about.
you took some of my power. No, just kidding. but it's a beautiful experience. If you want to know how to disconnect, this is one of the places. And if you join me in Ghana, this is one of the places we're going to be going. Why? Because it is imperative that you reset. Sure, we'll do the sightseeing. Sure, we'll do my normal process. But when you go into the eco village, it's a whole nother level of experience. Okay. Wow, Mau, thank you for being here. Yes, yes, yes. So can you tell us a little bit about, the type of practice that you do at the village with people when they come? What's something that people can expect to experience from you?
Yeah. So what we do in the village is we try to reconnect you with nature because nature has its own way of healing, unlike
Hmm.
what we experience in the orthodox medicines and some other practices. You know that when you are back in nature, there is this rejuvenation that you need, and that is what we do here. We help you connect with nature, and you can never regret being part of it.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Because I was thinking about, when I came down and you said, "Why is it raining?" And I said, "You got to remember, I'm a water girl." He was saying he hadn't had rain. And when I came, it started raining. And I was like, I bring life. I'm a nourisher of life. That's what can I do? What can I say? So thank you. So those of you, this is a different night. And I want to make sure, because I think sometimes, Mawu, and you can help me with this conversation, it has been my experience that sometimes people perceive traditional African religions as like this vengeful, evil thing. They see their ancestors as like dogs that they just release on people to attack. And I've been trying to explain to people that our ancestors are not dogs that you just sick on people. Am I saying it right? Do y'all understand when I say sick, like sick on people? Like if you have a dog, sick them. I don't know. People still say that? I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comments. Do people still say sick them? They send your dog. But when you release your dogs on people, that's not the role of our ancestors. Our ancestors are here to guide us. And yes, sometimes they will give you extra strength and power to knock your opposition out. In
Yeah,
the LL Cool J song. Go
yeah.
ahead, Mawu. I'm
That-
listening.
that's absolutely positive and true because there is continuity in everything. Okay, that is
Mm-hmm.
why God made all the fruits, the mangoes, the avocados, and they have seed in them. The seed symbolizes continuity. So if we have life, it means that there should be continuity. And the ancestors, people that came before us, their
Mm-hmm.
toil, the way they fought for liberation for us can never be underestimated. Okay. Anyone that forgets the power of the ancestors has already lost everything because without them, we wouldn't be here. Without my great grandfather, Dogby Hassesen, who
Mm,
has fought so well to make sure that our real being has not been lost, can never be underestimated. It can never mean harm to me because he knows
mm,
that I am here trying to reconnect with him.
hmm.
So why would they chase me like a dog? You know, no,
And
no.
why would we
What
use
we
them
do,
in that way, right? Why do we say, "Oh, this person did me wrong. Let me send my ancestors"? That's not what they're here
uh,
for.
they are here for better things than just revenge. Okay,
Mm.
and
Say that
if
again. Say that
you,
again.
they are here for better stuffs than just revenge, right? They protect us, they guide us, and they help us to feel our real self. Okay,
Mm,
because when you don't know your real self, you are lost. When you don't know how to talk to your ancestors, you are lost. When you don't
mm,
cherish their value in your life, you will not see no progress.
mm,
So these are just basic stuff that people underrate, and they go around doing things that are not real. But seriously, there is God. Our forefathers knew God before the infiltration
Mhm.
of these foreign worships and orthodox ways. They knew God.
Yeah.
If they didn't know God, the first person who came on that ship onto our land would not survive it, because our forefathers knew very well that they were made, the person who they saw on that shore was made in the form of God, or otherwise was made by God and looks
Mm.
like them. So they showed him love, right?
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah,
No,
that is
I like
why
that concept. I'm listening.
they were allowed onto our shores. If our forefathers were greedy and just wicked and don't really know or believe in God, they would have taken that man's life off, and there wouldn't be
Mm.
no trade. There wouldn't be no intercontinental trade that came, you know? So
Yeah.
we knew God before they came in, all right? So we cannot say that. We cannot, and that should, everyone on your medium should know and understand that we know God before they came in. So
Mm.
pouring libation to your ancestors is a means of communicating with them. And that is no evil way. No, no, no. It's just like your child, um, or my child, Junior. Junior just try to ask me, Daddy, I need a ball, or I need a soccer ball, or I need um, a Chromebook, you know.
Mhm.
So when he asks me a Chromebook, there should be a way that he acts so he can warrant that Chromebook, okay?
Yeah.
And that is true prayers. That is true communication. That is true his respect and the way he interacts with me, okay? So
Mhm.
when he interacts with me perfectly and well, I know that he must get what he wants. So the interaction with our ancestors brings us what we need and what we require in our lives, you know?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I was really happy when you taught your followers how to do libation. That is
Mm.
the way we have to go about it. We
Yeah.
all must have an altar in our space, our sacred space, because when we create space for them, they create space for us. They give us more
Yes.
blessings. They impact in our lives and definitely make us on top of what we do.
Mhm.
They
Mm.
push more sales when you are a salesman. They make you give life when you are a medical practitioner, when you are a lawyer. They bring you out of cases that you would never know that you can come out of. So they, because we have all our ancestors do what you are doing now. Being a nurse, we had some who have been in this practicing for quite some time now. So it is just continuity. We're just here to continue what they've left, and we cannot do that without acknowledging our past. So
Mm.
basically, that's what we have to do, to have them behind us anytime, any day. And when we speak life. When we touch, there is life. When we envision or plan something, it comes to fruition. That
Mm.
is basically what our forefathers are. They are not scarecrows, or they are not tools used to distract, but they are tools we can use to recreate and reinvent, renovate, and make sure that there is peace and unity.
I agree. I agree 100%. And that's why I wanted to have you on my woo, because I felt like, sometimes people see me as a seer and a healer and, all these things and a teacher and all that thing, but they don't understand like the background we come from, right? The background we come from the moment we are born. We are reminded, we are reminded that nothing is disconnected, that we are all one and the same. So absolutely, positively, so it is. You are listening to Spiritually Speaking. I am Sister Fua, and we are here to share, and we are greeted with a guest whose name is Mawu. Mawu is Ewe. He is from Ghana. He is a spiritual practitioner in the traditional African religion. And so he's sharing with us this ideal and the reality of ancestors from that way. Again, this is not the only way. This is only one way. I will have a Babalawo on. I will have other people come on. But it is a time for us to have a conversation that allows us to buy into the truth that is withholding to us. And please forgive him. Again, he lives in an eco village. It's up in what we call the bush back home. So his internet may go out. So I'm working with him. My person is working with him to make sure that he has what he needs to be able to come back. But those of you that were listening, you heard what he said, right? Our ancestors are not pit bulls. They're not about vengefulness. They're about being able to be the roots that keep us strong, the roots that allow us. And he talked about having an altar. He talked about why that altar is important. It's about remembering them, to know they are behind us, they are with us. This is how we work. But sometimes what happens is, because we have been denied our ancestors, we tend to find ourselves fighting and thinking that people are going to, come and they're our rescuer. But everything that you need is already inside of you. Your ancestors are the fuel, are the tools, right? If you want to think about it, like you're going to war, and then your spear is right there. Your bullets are right there. Your flame is right there. Your catapult is right there. Your warship is right there. That's what it is. And it's telling you how to use these things. But if you want to see, but because we've been taught by this Western society that things are outside of us and disconnected, and they require such horrible, punitive beliefs and the belief that you are disconnected from that which you are. Your ancestors are in your DNA. It's inside of you. And you don't have to know their names in order for you to access them. I can tell you that one of the things that I'm a Marvel girl. I've been a Marvel girl all my life because my parents didn't believe in us like watching a lot of television. So comic books and books became our thing, right? Welcome back, Mawu. Welcome back. And
Yeah,
so it became our thing, right? And so
absolutely.
when it became that movie Black Panther, the second one, the most, to me, one of the most powerful thing. I had a lot of issues with that movie, but we'll talk about the thing that I can clap on. The thing I want to clap on is that when the sister took the plant and she went to visit the ancestors, she thought she would see her mother, right? But it wasn't her mother who she needed to communicate with in that situation. She needed the one that was ruthless. She needed the one that was going to be able to give her the strategies and the strength and the focus that she would need to go to war. Some of us want to bring up grandma, but grandma's not what you need when it's time for you to fix your life. Some of y'all want to go pay homage to Papa or Granddaddy, but it's not the one you need in order to make the shift in your life. Yes, we honor all. That movie Coco, right? About the De La Mortis, when they go back into the orange flowers and the guy thought somebody was his grandfather, but it was really somebody else. These are the things, these are the conversations that we need to have so that everyone can understand that. Oh, I don't want Uncle George because he was a drunk and he was this, that, and the other. But Uncle George is the one that can connive and get you to know how to say the right thing to get what you need.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So it's not about what you want, it's about what's required. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sister Afua, and this is my guest today, Mawu, all the way from the Volta region in Ghana. He is a practitioner. He is a practitioner. He is the owner and founder of the EB Echo Village, and it is beautiful. He's teaching us all these things on how to reconnect with nature, how to get back in tune with our spiritual selves. And it's just, I'm going to have more people on, right? So you got to just bear with me, right? I'm back home. Just bear with me. But there's a lot that we need to honor within our practices, that because we're getting hybrids, like I said, people don't understand voodoo and hoodoo, Ifa, Lacrume, Santeria, and all the other ones that are practiced. All of them are about reconnecting back to the source and nature and our ancestors. And a lot of times what happens is that we go for spiritual consultations, but we don't want to hear the totality of what it is that's being said. Hmm?
Yeah. So basically, you said something right now about yeah, we having to be selective when it comes to our ancestors. Say Uncle John is drunk, so I would not involve him in my affairs here. But again, let me ask y'all: so who gives you the power to be selective?
Mm.
Are you are you a judge to know who is going to be the right ancestor or not? No.
Good. That's
So
good.
yeah. So basically, we just have to do what we have to do and leave the rest to the ancestors because they know they are now supernatural beings. They see beyond walls. They see what
Mm.
we cannot see.
Mm.
So why would you say that my auntie is a greedy person, don't wish me well, so there's no way I can just involve him in my prayers, involve her in my prayers. No, 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 no. Doesn't work that way, you know. So we just have to know this. Knowledge is power. When you know this, you know things you have to know, you see that there is just a great transformation in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You won't need
Mm-hmm.
to seek anyone to help you to speak life or have things manifest in your life
That's it.
because you can do it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Absolutely. That's it. So, Mawu, tell us a little bit more about some ways in which we can reconnect with our ancestors. You mentioned an altar. So, what do we do when we're doing an ancestor altar? I know there are other altars, but what about reconnecting to our ancestors? What's something we can do?
Yeah. Thanks for that question. The ancestral altar that we all need to do. First of all, you have to make sure you get pictures of your ancestors, like photographs of your ancestors on your altar. There should be a candle on your altar, the variety of colors of candles and what they do, you know. And I know that would be a whole lesson for another day. And you must have your cowries or your bones or your oyster shells for your divination. Okay, definitely you must have your gene, what we are called akpateshi. Yeah, and not all ancestors do legal. Some may do soft drinks. Some may also have some favorite fruits and some favorite
Mhm.
foods that they like. So all these things must be featured on your altar because the altar is a space where you are creating a sacred space where you go there and you have that connection with God. Okay, so all these things on your altar will also give space for your ancestors to visit the altar and have a space there. So when you call them, they respond promptly and timely. Now, let me teach something about the bell, the ringing bell, you know, on your altar. When you see most of the ancient Orthodox church buildings, you see that there are bells, like there are huge bells on those churches. So some will say that, yeah, because the bells are there for the church members to know that it's time for you to come to church. No, because we know, you all know that the Eternal Life Spiritual Center has its service Sundays from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. We all know
Mhm.
that. So we adjust our time, our schedules to suit that particular service. So do we need a reminder to get to that service? No. So the
Mhm.
bell in the church is not just for reminder, but it helps to clean our spirits, clean our aura, because when you ring the bell,
Mm.
the vibration the bell brings on sanctifies the the entirety of the church premises. And even if you're
Mhm.
coming to church, you see that the vibration gets into you and shakes off that aura that you need, like takes off that bad energy before you go to church. So already you are healed for going to start your process. You are cleaning your space with the bell.
Mhm.
I'm just doing this our local language here, and
Mhm.
very soon we
Metaloro.
have to teach some of these languages to our people so that our kids would know what it means. So yeah, the altar must have that,
Right. So no more
and
giddy giddy
you must
giddy
have a
giddy giddy.
space where you pour your libation. So the
Yes.
libation pouring, I'm sure Dr. F4 taught you how to do it. Yeah. So
Those that have come to the
there should be
retreat.
fruits,
Those that have
maybe one of
Mawu.
your ancestors like
Yeah.
citrus or oranges. One also like watermelon, some like the
H.
soursop.
Nice.
So all those things there must be space on your altar that has all those things, so that it is going to be a complete thing. It won't look
Mm-hmm.
as if you're trying to discriminate. You're trying to be selective. You're trying to suit some ancestor and leave the others out. So that is what
I have a
supposed to
question,
be on your
Mawu.
altar.
What do you say? Like for instance, I was
Yeah,
sharing with
I
someone. They
can
said,
hardly hear you. Can you
"Oh, oh,
yeah,
can
your
you hear me
microphone is
now?
off there. Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Am I back? Is my volume back?
You're not back yet.
Oh, let me see. How about now? Is my volume back?
Uh,
Oh, I'm gonna take you down and bring you back. Can everyone hear me? If you can, okay, you can hear me. Okay, thank you, Monica. That was my next question. That was my next. It might be his connection where he's at. As I said, he's up in an eco village. Everything without um is done without modern stuff, right? So you have to remember that he's on a generator, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, Sierra says she can hear us both. Okay, good. So let me just ask this question and I'll type it so that he can see it. My question is, oh, now you're gone. Oh, let me bring you back. Let me see what happened. Okay, Mawu, go ahead.
yeah, I can
Because
hear you now.
okay, good, because it said you muted yourself. All right, so Mawu, I have a question for you. I get a lot of questions a lot of time. This is our conversation. Do we deny your ancestors? Oh, my ancestors were Christian. So how I don't believe in Christianity. So how do I how do I acknowledge? Let me stop. How do I acknowledge, venerate, support, remember my ancestors if they were Christian? Should
Yeah,
we go there
that's a
today?
great
I don't
question.
even know if we should go there today, Mawu.
Yeah, that's a great question, and You see, there is life beyond what we see now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the most intriguing part is they see us, and we cannot see them.
Mm,
All right, so we can only see what really goes on when we transition and go into their space.
that's it.
All right,
That's it.
so who are we to say that my grandfather? Okay, let me just give you a practical example. My grandfather, who happens to be the the bearer of the dream, the still father, was also a church person. All right,
Mm-hmm.
but he never went against his beliefs and ways. When it's time for him to do the libations, he did it, and he was a merchant, a cocoa merchant in the 60s or 70s or thereabout. And you see,
Yeah.
the way he believed in God through our ancestral way of worship made him have so much money, so much sales, that he even hired people, paid them to
Mm,
dry up his money for him because the monies were coming, just coming, because he did the right thing.
true.
So being a Christian here before your departure to the life after this our life does not mean that we cannot call them and invite them. Remember, they are our roots. They are our roots. And without
Hmm.
them, we will not be here. So you can never survive without your roots. Trust me. You can never survive without your roots. So yeah, like we cannot just say that because they're Christians, they're Muslims, they're Hindus, they're traditional people, so we cannot invite them. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing a great mistake.
That's
There should
it.
be room for everyone.
That's
We
it.
should not be selective. We should not discriminate. There should
That's
be room
it.
for everyone.
That's it.
That is the way we can grow.
Right. Because
Because
I
when,
know, we
when
talked about this before. My grandmother was a midwife. She was also a traditionalist.
Mhm,
But she also had a favorite scripture that she always said. And now that I'm older and I'm tapping into it, I realize that that scripture she said was about her having power and dominion over everything on this earth. So I
yeah.
know, and then I recently saw something on social media. This guy I follow this one guy, and he was saying, what do you mean you can't follow your ancestors when we're following the ancestors of those people that are documented in this Bible? you know that's their ancestor. This person begot this person, and this person begot this person, and that person is that. Why do they tell us that if it's not important to remember your ancestors, right? Why do we have, and for me, I always say, why do we have buildings and street signs and people on the money that we use if we're not recognizing ancestors? So your
Hmm.
ancestors are not to be vilified. I like that. They are not to be vilified. They are our roots. And what I taught people was that in order for you to be here today in all of your greatness, somebody had to survive and experience whatever they experienced and give birth to someone who gave birth to someone who gave birth to someone who gave birth to someone that gave birth to you.
Hmm. I like that part.
uh So if we remember that, then how do you refute the fact that you are that branch on that tree, right? How do we allow somebody to disconnect us from the very earth and the very root that gave strength to give birth, to produce?
Okay.
So, I'm
Yeah.
always a nature girl. You know me, I'm a nature girl and a water girl, right?
Mhm. Yeah. And also let me just say this part. Now we have the Bible, right?
Mhm.
And the Bible is just a guide and a manual, just like the way you go to Walmart and just get a TV or get a lawn mowing machine, and
Mhm.
you just have the machine there, but you sit and spend hours on the manual to give you how to go about the usage of the machine. Now, The Bible had James, Paul, Bartholomew, um, just name them. Like the the book of John, the book of um,
Mm.
the book of Marian, if I'm right, if that is a book in the Bible like
Shut
that.
up.
But
Shut up.
seriously, all those people who are in the Bible
Yeah.
are just people who we don't really know, like directly. They don't have any impact on our lives, but we read all those stories. Some are even before Christ, BC, 1900,
Mm-hmm.
002, and all those years before Christ, and some came even after Christ. So if we don't really believe in our ancestors, why do we believe a story which is as old as the world, like which has been there for years? Hmm? Said, I cast him in the name of Jesus. I rebuke him. Da, 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 da. Then you go and read John some like just any verse, and you see that it was created by someone, someone's vision. The climatic
Mm-hmm.
conditions there might not be the same climatic conditions now. The economic situation then might not be the same as what we have now. So if you're saying your ancestors are just dangerous, they are wicked, they are like this, like that, and you leave them and you believe other people's ancestors, it means you are lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because John also have grandkids. If those stories are real, like John has a grandkid, and that grandkid also gave birth to someone. So why
Mm-hmm.
would you believe someone's grandfather and say yours is just wicked or greedy or yours is not the right way to go? So we
That's a
have
good
to
point.
believe ourselves. Believing in yourself first is the beginning of miracles in your life. And miracles alone don't just come in church. I shared a testimony with someone who contacted me from Detroit, Michigan, with some cases, and yeah, our
Yeah, that was
ancestors
deep.
entered.
That was deep. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So you see, God works in mysterious ways. That
And
saying does not mean that you have to go to church, you have to pay your tithe, you have to speak in tongues, you have to say Rabatakataka Borokotayaka before the Holy Spirit to you.
ratatatatata, 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 ba 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 ba
Yeah,
ba 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 ba.
yeah.
That's an inside joke, y'all. What we're doing right now is an inside joke. Y'all may not get it, but we know what that reference is for.
Uh-huh,
uh
uh-huh. Yeah,
So, but I like what you said, Mawu, about that whole thing is that it's not just confined to a place, right? And
yeah.
like you said, how do you accept somebody else's ancestral lineage, but you don't accept your own, right? Where does that come
Uh-huh.
from? What is that teaching about? So your ancestors, that's why I tell people your ancestors known and unknown. When you make a acknowledgement, I receive and I accept the wisdom and the guidance from my ancestors known and unknown. As long as it doesn't take you out of alignment for what your original assignment is. Why are you tripping? And that's why I say that one scene in Black Panther, the second Black Panther movie, really, really, really let me understand. It was a very, very poignant point. Your ancestors come to you and whisper in your ears and give you what you need based upon the quality, the character that you need to exhibit and have information from. One of the things that I find, somebody called me and I told them, I said, the woman called me this afternoon. I had a reading with someone, a consultation with someone, and this being came through and she said her name and she said, I don't know nobody by that name. Da, 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 da. And I said, okay, fine, just write it down, da, 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 and go back. And when you calm down out the reading, talk to your mama, talk to your grandmama, grandparents, aunties, whoever, talk to some elders because she's a young person. I said, talk to some elders and tell them that name and tell them what I said. And do you know, she called me back an hour later and she said, I told my mother that name. My mother called my grandmother. And my grandmother said that was her sister that was killed in 1947.
Mm. 1947.
1947, the auntie was murdered, right?
Mm.
And this person was coming through because what this young lady is going through is very similar to how she got murdered. You understand me?
Mm.
You understand? So what I'm telling
Yeah.
you is that it's not about what you know. It's not the physical realm because there are multiple levels. And I'm saying that for human knowledge, but it's not really levels, it's just experiences and how wide you can open up your view. Right, the ancestral level is the one that's above the second level of physical existence. The food, water, shelter, safety is the first level. Then the next level is self-actualization, understanding that you are connected, there's more, da 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 da. Then you go into the ancestral realm, you go into other realms, and you begin to experience that. But for human
Yeah.
sakes, we say levels, but it's not really levels, it's vision, it's experience. Mhm.
That's true. Because let me just buttress your point. You see some people struggling in their lives with their finances, struggling with the academics, with your work, you know,
Mhm.
but they have a duty to play. They have a role, a spiritual role. So until you come back to that spiritual self-actualization and the role you have to play to uplift the spirits and the existence of your forefathers or your ancestors, that is where you'll be marking time, be doing the same thing over and over again with no result. That is why you see that your businesses are not flourish. That is why you see that the marriages are not working out. But because you there is something you must do. Like there is a role you must play. Okay, I travel the world and I had to come back to Ghana to do what
Yeah.
I'm doing now.
Mhm.
Living off grid, living in the AB sacred village. Here it's 3:18 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, but I'm here because I know that giving my time and my life to them, doing what they need me to do, will bring me
Mhm.
what I need to exist and to, go out there to save more lives. It's not about your degree. It's not about your medical status. It's not about your pilot status. It's not about your
Mm.
nursing status. But
Mm.
it's about what you must do. What you must do. Okay, you know my story very well.
Yeah.
Came back that was 2022.
Yep.
You know, yeah, I have a construction business going on. I
Yep.
have more stuffs going on. I build for expatriates. I build for diasporans who want to come to Ghana. But I devoted so much of my time now, serving our ancestors, and their service they give me is top notch. Trust me. Yeah,
But that's also right. But that's not just, I think it's a totality of all that you do, right? Because you are not only your knowledge of the ancestors, but when you do that, you're getting messages, but you're also reconnecting to the practices that keep you focused. Like you said before, when you were all over the world doing all these big things, traveling here, going to EAU, Dubai, da, 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 Europe, UK, it was like you can make money, but then you were missing something. You said you
yeah,
were before you told me you were missing something. But when you came back to the village, you said your life is even better than what it was before. And let me just say this to those of you that are listening, because I heard somebody in their head go, I don't want to lose everything. I want it all. But he has it all. And he can choose to live in the village, but live like, but then know that he can even go and travel and have whatever he wants.
yeah.
But his peace is in service with the earth and with growing the herbs and with making the medicines and doing the consultations, and hopefully he'll do a few for us tonight. Is that
Absolutely,
okay? Mawu, can you do a
absolutely.
couple of, throw a little something, I don't know, if you, whatever you want to do, and that doesn't, because what's the word I want to say, remember, it's about reciprocity. What I do on my program, sometimes I will do at the end, I will do consultations, like brief consultations. People can ask me questions, right? And so you
Yeah.
decide if you want to participate or not. And, I know that usually people have a deeper consultation with you and things like that when they come for Ifa and for the ways of Afa. But I would love if you could share, if you just throw a couple of stones and let them answer you a yes or no question, or maybe the cowies, maybe throw the cowies and they'll ask you a yes or no question. If you are, if you get the message to do so, I request that. Don't, I'm not using
Yeah.
my rank. I'm not using my rank, but I'm just saying, if you could.
Yeah. That would be great today, but today is Tuesday here.
Oh,
So
for you,
yeah.
you can't.
So
Sorry, apologies. I forgot today is
mhm,
Tuesday over there already. So yeah, so that's another thing, right? So let's explain that to them. There are certain days and you cannot divine, right? There are certain
yeah,
days you cannot divine. If you notice, there are certain days I don't come on. That's because there are certain days I'm supposed to be in rest and in listening mode and restoration
absolutely.
mode. So
Yeah.
for him, it's Tuesday. I have my day.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, I forgot about
But
that.
no problems. Since we have our people coming on board, they should just share, like tell other people that they have to listen to the word of impartation here. Then subsequently,
Mhm.
I'll have to do some more consultation one of these days. When
Yeah.
we schedule it.
They can set up some time with you. Yeah. I'll drop your link and stuff in here and then they can follow up with you. I forgot it's Tuesday over there already.
Mm.
I know we said Monday, but it's still Monday here, but I forget that my mind is still there. So I forgot. My mind is still there. Okay, great, great, great. So what I want to just emphasize is like I said before, there are various different practices. Everyone has their own different practices. But yet they all have the common theme and root when it comes to the ancestors. When it also comes to divination, there might be multiple modalities, but it's still tapping into the same energy. And this is what we want y'all to understand is that it requires a certain level of respect and honor. And sometimes, not all times, sometimes I feel that people make it feel like it's such a tedious or complicated process to access the ancestors, to access what it's doing. I know we're going to lose some people because some people want to, oh, I'm just here for a reading. I want her to give me a reading. I want to know what's going on. But sometimes what you're doing is you really stifling yourself. I told y'all the other day, I got the message that if you're always participating by taking, when do you give? It's about reciprocity. And sometimes that means just giving your listening ear. I see my sister Sunfire. Hey, Sunfire. What's going on? I miss you so much. I miss you. She's a shaman. She's a beautiful being. She's a shaman. She's a practitioner of the ways and purveyor of our ways. And so a lot of times she comes and supports me at the retreats as we co-facilitate and monitor and support people in their journey of transcendence and healing and restoration into their knowings of who they are. So it's just a beautiful thing. If you're not following her, follow her. I want to recognize everybody that's here and been coming in and out with us. Listen, let me tell you something. There are no big I's and big U's in the spiritual realm. If you're thinking that you the shit, get ready. You not. And because you have to open up yourself to allow that which is in you to blossom, bloom. Did you hear me? You have to bud, blossom, and bloom. And if you think you're the only one that buds, blossoms, and blooms, then that's going to negate your whole process. And sometimes people don't understand that you have to go through a form of karma to get to your dharma, because we all have built up some level of karma, whether it's ancestral, whether it's social, whether it's in your current mind. So we have to remember that, right? They have to remember that. For me, I just do what I do. Somebody got offended with me the other day and said, "You don't remember me? You did this, you did that, and da 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 da." And I'm like, it's not that I don't remember, but it's not my business to remember. It's my business to be in service for you when you come to me, because we have a reason to reconnect. You understand? That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
absolutely.
So what Mawu is saying is that, yeah, if you don't know your roots, how you gonna move forward? If you see the traditional practices as evil or in juxtaposition or in opposition to your religious belief, it has no bearing on that. A ritual, like I said, religion is about doing certain rituals in order for you to, based upon your belief, you do certain rituals to get a certain results. Like when you want to brush your teeth, you want to get rid of your stinky breath, you have to brush and floss your teeth and rinse your mouth out with clothes water and tea tree, or mouthwash, whatever you want to say, right? So when you are doing that, that's a ritual because you're going to get a result. So when you're doing any type of ritual, you're doing it because you want a certain result, and it's a focused activity,
Yeah.
right? If you are gonna, if we talk about the deities, right, or people call it deities, or the orisha, or the well, I ain't gonna use languages because I don't want to confuse people. But basically, my tongue was getting ready to go into I was getting ready to start speaking. I can't look. I looked at your face and was getting ready to start saying the words. But let me come back to English. When you are doing a ritual, you are doing a ritual. When you take a particular entity and you want to focus on your money, you want to focus on your relationship, you want to focus on your peace, you want to focus on your money, you want to focus on your business, on your healing, and you go to a certain entity, that's a focal point. But if you don't believe that that entity really has the ability, then it's for naught, because it's not in conflict. If you sneak in and go do it, if you're sneaking to go do it, it's for naught.
Hmm.
So you want to start getting into this place where you understand that it is all a part of you. I remember when I was younger, I had this dream about, a particular entity. And when I went to the people, they were like, you can't have that entity because you're a girl. And I'm like, but it's here. And it's like, it's talking to me and I'm seeing it everywhere I'm going, and da 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 da. And then when I went into practice, and I listened to the within, and I did the process of paying honor, because we don't worship, we honor that entity, and we honor that particular ancestor that came to me. When I did that, all kind of stuff began to happen in my life that was for the better. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me also share this story. I won't give details though, but when you believe strongly in your ancestors, things that happen to you, okay, things that happen to others and they just lose their lives, happen to you, and you survive it. A friend of mine had an issue, you know, with some people, and he was shot 17 times.
Hmm.
17 times. But because of the belief and the honoring of the ancestors of someone in that family, that person was saved.
Hmm. They started
17
doing
times.
things that only a person with that background would know what to do to avoid being murdered.
Hmm. And see, someone just got one bullet and they are dead. Someone
Mhm,
even just got a little knife stab and they're dead. But
mhm,
17 bullet shots, like pow, 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 17 times, but they're still
mhm,
living. That should tell you that there is an a shield, like a spiritual shield, covering your entire family, covering your business partners, covering your children. When you do it right, when you serve them in honesty, they watch your
mhm,
back. Trust me.
mhm,
They usher your steps and they tell you what to do. You sometimes you just feel like, okay, I'm going. You're all dressed up for this occasion, and you just feel that no, like don't go, don't go, don't go. That voice comes to you in your image self.
Mm.
When you listen to these voices, maybe you just sit home and the next minute, the next few minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, you hear news that where you're going, there is this accident or there is this or there is that, and people have lost their
Mhm.
lives. That is what our ancestors do. If you serve them
Mhm.
in honesty, truth, with respect and dignity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. I
And
remember
if
I
you're
can.
driving, if, you, if you're driving a car and you're not focused, you
Hmm.
don't have your seatbelts on, you're always playing with your phone on a highway, you know, what you get wouldn't just be a fine, or you might even lose your life.
Hmm.
After the fine, you can still lose your life. So it means that behind the wheel of life, you must stay focused. You must keep your eye on the road. You must observe the signs of life, just like the signs of the road, you know. Just like how you must use your inner lane for all the speed you need, come to the outer lane if you want to get off or exit the highway.
Hmm.
When you stay away from those signs on the road, hmm, you're getting into problem. Not with the police alone, but with your entire life.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
these are the kind of demonstrations we have to know about life and
Mhm.
know about dealing with our
Mhm.
ancestors, you know. So yeah,
Mhm. That's it. That's it. I mean, that's the thing about the ancestors too. And so I'll say this. I always tell you, it doesn't take a lot. He's Mawu has already told us. If you have a photo, put a photo. Sometimes I don't have a photo, but I have a name. Like for instance, we did our family reunion and we were in the villages and stuff, and somebody mentioned a name. But the moment I heard that name, I felt like that name just stuck with me. That story, that resonation just stuck with me. And then I started smelling certain smells, right? And then I said, and then they
yeah,
started talking about this person used to always smoke a pipe, and that's what I started smelling was tobacco. So because I had that connection to this being, yes, I see spirits, yes, I understand that, but this particular connection was different, and I was asking for a food that I usually don't ask for. So for me, it said, okay, this individual is someone that I need to pay attention to, right? And when I did the research and I found out this person was kind of, we had some similar things and some similar traits. You don't have to know the name. I'll let Mawu answer. Mawu, the question is, how do you know your answers? I'm not sure the name of mine. And let me tell you why it doesn't matter what their name. That's why I say you say, to my ancestors, known and unknown, always have water, always have some candle or something lit up on the altar, always have something that is alive on the altar, right? If you know your people from North, for me in the States, if you know your people are from North Carolina or Louisiana, go get some dirt, right? Or even just put a flag there, so that something that will recognize your ancestors. If your grandmother left a spoon, put that spoon on the altar. If it was one earring, if it's one of Papa's ties, you do that as a point of contact. If you don't have names and photos, don't let this be a deterrent. We are fully aware that so many of us in this world, regardless of ethnicity, have no clue who our ancestors are, because when our ancestors came, when our forefathers came into this place, most of us were immigrants. And people changed their names, and people changed their ethnicity, and people didn't communicate about the previous world that they came from. And some of us, if you Black African American, 90% of us have no clue unless you're a second or
yeah,
third generation.
yeah. That's true.
And quiet as it's kept, it's some people on the continent don't even know because they've been converted, and they've agreed that focusing on your ancestors is demonic and witchcraft and in opposition to divine God, creator of all that ever was, is, and shall be.
Yeah,
Hmm?
but yet they have statues in their church that they bow to. Like, you know, they have statues in their church that they they go seeking refuge from, but
Hmm.
relegating the
Hmm.
ancestors to the background. You know, how do you bow to a statue in your church and come home and say that your forefathers' statue or the point of prayer in your grandfather's house is evil? See,
Hmm.
economically, it's not viable because you cannot say no to your ancestors and go do the same thing at someone else's space of worship. And if you don't really know the names of your ancestors, doesn't matter. The blood in you already has that connection and that link. So when you pray, when you say a prayer to the ancestors unknown and known, it opens up your mind and gives you more clue as to what you need to do, as to the pictures that
Absolutely.
would come to your mind, as to where you have to get information about your ancestors.
Hmm.
So basically, yes, knowing the names. Let's say you're going to Walmart um, um, to buy a washing machine, a particular brand. If you know the brand's name, it makes your work more easier because you know the brand's name. Go to the shop, go straight to that particular stand, get your washing machine. It saves you time and the stress of going to talk to the shop attendant to help you to get a brand that works well for you. But when you
That's
know
it.
the brand name, it saves you time, saves you money, saves you the stress, and gets you the right thing you need. You know, but that not notwithstanding the fact that still you can spend that time, get the right machine, and it works well for you.
That's
So
it.
yes, we really have been taken through rough times, moving our ancestors from Africa to the Caribbean to the States, and that particular um, transition. Yes, 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 yeah. That particular
So
transition has also given us the kind of um, relegation that we are going through now. So we would not say that it's our fault. Not that is it the fault of our
hmm.
ancestors, but we should
Hmm.
just know them and still acknowledge them and
That's it.
make space for them. They will enlighten you and make sure that you are okay. Yeah,
Hmm. That's good. That's good. Ellie, I sent
yeah.
you a message. Mawu, I sent you a message. So yeah, so we are talking today here on Spiritually Speaking with Sister Afua. This is a conversation about ancestors and some of the or one branch of traditional um, African religions, and I think that this conversation is crossing a cross section that can apply to anyone. I mean, I've met people in Europe and they are talking about their ancestors. I've met people in um, I've met people, all over the world, and they talk about their ancestors. And so this is a very permanent part. And everything is well, love. Thank you for being here. And so I don't know um, you know, we're going to be moving. We're going to be moving and grooving in this experience. I told you that the academy, the activated alchemy academy, the activated alchemy academy is going to be opening up. It's $297 for the entire year. If you take a particular course, of course, whoever the practitioner is, you will have to, pay for that particular course to get into all the inside, because that's what an academy is. You go to college, you got to pay, right? Of course. But 297 allows you to have some private conversations, get some access to some consultations, some trainings that you would normally not get I can't do here because it just doesn't benefit, right, for everybody to get it. So we need to be able to kind of do some reciprocity there. But other than that, it also gives you an opportunity to have a little bit of a reprieve from the expenses of that when you're coming to spend time with us in the places in Costa Rica, Ghana, or Arizona. This is what we're doing, right? We got to take care of the eco village. We got to take care of the healing village. We got to take care of the sabbatical space, right? So all of this comes in playing. But if you want to join the academy, it's $297 for the entire year for 12 months. We're going to meet every week. We have discussions. So even like right now, tonight, some people have already purchased into the academy. Those people that have purchased into the academy after tonight will all join in together and we'll have a further deeper conversation and things like that. Ma will welcome back.
Yeah.
So we're
Sorry
gonna
for the
we're gonna
lady.
no no no. I know I look, trust me, I know. Ooh-wee. We need to be working on us a serious satellite community for real, for real, for real. But in the meantime, are there any questions from the group? Anyone that wants to
Okay.
ask us a question in particular regarding this topic of ancestors, regarding the topic of spiritual commitment to yourself, how do you move forward? How do you tap into it? Feedback is important, right? Because we're just talking. We're all talking as a community. So I see a lot of you are here on today. But again, we'll be back here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're here to do some things, and this is your time to get it started. Again, I am Sister Afua, and this is Mawu. He is an airway practitioner of African traditional ways located in Ghana in the Volta region. He is also the practitioner founder of the EB Echo Village that is also there to help support you, give you some reprieve. And you come and you can actually experience life in nature, right? If you can cut back. I
Yes.
think some of you talked about, what is that about? Let me tell you the most beautiful thing. I can tell you the most beautiful thing I did. First of all, the first time I had an experience in a village similar to the eco village in Ghana was when I was in Eswatini, former Swaziland that is in southern Africa. And we got there. It was beautiful. It was pristine. The animals reserve is there. And then it's all nature. And then all of a sudden they said, okay, be prepared because at 7 o'clock, all the electricity and Wi-Fi goes out, and they give you a lantern to find back to your chalet, right? To your own personal little hut. And it's
Yeah.
modern on the inside, but you got to get there. And it's the most beautiful experience I've ever had just to be quiet under a mosquito net in a beautiful modern facility and to recognize that in that space you can hear and feel. And I did a talk the other day that talked about noticing what are you noticing and understanding that when you get quiet you hear the small hum and you literally can hear everything, things that you would normally just pass on.
Yeah. That's great.
So invest in yourself, invest in our community. Someone said, is there anything else we should put on our altars besides waters, candles, something alive, food and drinks? I have those things currently. I think Mawu talked about having photos if you have them or objects that belong to your ancestors. Is that sufficient, Mawu?
Yeah. And also sometimes, for instance, on my altar, there is this special, like I call it special because the stone formation on my eco village land, like there is this particular
Mm.
stone that is well designed and well crafted. I see someone made it, so I picked that particular stone onto my altar because I believe strongly. I had a word that this stone has so much power. So I brought it on my altar, and I always constantly, you know, pour libation on that altar, and
Mm.
you see that the magic is just great. Trust me.
Can you tell people what's the simple way of libation? What is libation? Can you tell people?
Libation is just a way to, acknowledge your ancestors. Okay, Now, you just grab your cup or your glass, or yeah, because basically it should be a cup, a metal cup, or a glass. Reason
No
why I'm saying
plastic.
that is
No
no
plastic.
plastics, because plastics are made
My
from
man.
these chemicals and
Hmm.
so
It's a
either
man-made
you take,
product.
yes, and those man-made products have have chemicals that will break that communication barrier. So it's either a clay cup or a glass that you can just get your liquor.
Wood.
Water
Cassava.
could be water,
Hmm.
could be your juice, it could be anything, but you know,
Appetition.
Akweteshi are locally made uh, gin. So when you have that, you just hold it and you say, um, ago means you are like, it's as if you're going into a bigger hall of your ancestors. You have to knock. You have to just say, you cannot just walk into any place. You have to knock first. Ago, togwe ago, togwe omeyomi, enyemiavi. So basically, I'm saying that ago, our forefathers, I call you. I call you in peace. I call you with respect.
Hmm.
I am your son, Mauli, Hassan Badasu. I'm here calling you all, inviting you all. So whilst you're saying that, you are just dropping pieces of the drink on the floor, like on the ground or on your altar or on the doll that you made. You're dropping it. I go Miami. I go Dagbanevalo. Meji Jabunyana Mesiame. I wish everyone well. Everyone that wish me well, I wish them well. But anyone that does not want me to move on and have the life to serve you, our ancestors, I have nothing against them. But you, our ancestors, know better. You see what I don't see. So I urge you to protect my entire family when you drop the drink. I urge you to protect my business. I urge you all to be supportive of my entire generation. Drop the drink. You know. Then you see, it's not all our ancestors that drink in public. Some do not drink in public. So, okay, when you say, those of you who do not drink in public, this is your drink. Then you just turn aside and you drop the drink for them.
Hmm. That's very
Yeah,
good.
um, yeah.
And that's the
And
key, right? That's the key, is that it's about, it's like a toast up, like, hey, like if your family, if your grandparent came, you would give them water, you would give them something. And I also talk about, objects, right? Like, for instance, my
yeah,
grandmother, my
mm-hmm,
grandmother, she
mm-hmm,
she loved lemon drops, so I put lemon drops, right?
mm-hmm,
My father converted to Christianity and he had a rosary, and I have it, so I put it on his altar. You
mm-hmm,
understand? I have I have different things that you put on there that remind you, of this person, of these entities. Like I said, I have dirt from my home country. I have
mm-hmm,
sand from the ocean, from the
yeah,
Atlantic Ocean. I have water and sand from the Atlantic Ocean on my ancestor altar, because I know that was the place that transferred and where my people are from. If you from Detroit and y'all grew up on this particular road, then you go there and you find something. Maybe you put a Detroit pin or a glass or something that lets you know your roots. You
yeah,
understand? These are the type of
absolutely.
things that make it pellet. And you do that. And no, you don't have to do it every day, but you need to keep your altar clean. You should be dusting off photos. You should be cleaning off the table. If you light a candle and it's not in a jar and you need to clean that up. Dust shouldn't be on your altar. You should go and just sit sometime and just be quiet and hear what you hear. Hmm. All right. I
Yeah.
hope that supports you in your answer. Thank you, Mawu. Thank you. My question was going on the line of knowing how to communicate with the ones I don't know because I have never met, and you all answered it. Okay, okay. Thank you.
Mm.
She says, wow, what a great topic. I wanted to connect to my ancestors. Right. I mean, and that's the thing I'm trying to say is like, I want us to understand that it's not a competition. It's not a competition. I mean, everything and everyone, all creations come from one, in my belief, is in Mawu's too, because we in alignment. But the majority
Yeah,
of it is this fact is that there's only one. And of that one, there are many. And from that many, there exists even more longevity, expansion, unfoldment. So when you trust that and you believe that, as he said, even the ancestors that you're not aware of, even the ancestors that feel like you're not ready for something, that's not your issue. Your issue is that you are recognizing that they have wisdom, they have a foresight, they have a vision that you cannot access in this present moment. Just like when you come to me for a consultation or anybody else who has access, right? There, what we're doing is we're accessing what you're not ready to receive yet. But we always remember when it comes to your ancestors, I want to talk to my big mama, but big mama may not be what you need to hear. Big mama may let Uncle Simon come forward to check you and tell you playing small. You playing games with yourself. You're not living up to the greatness that you are. You allowing people to come in and creep you. Sometimes
yeah,
your ancestors will come through and they will tell you to let them go. Quit holding on to them so tight and using them as an excuse why you can't move forward. That happened to me in a recent situation too. Somebody's mother died, and the person kept saying, I just can't go home because my mother would always tell me to do. And the mother came through plain as day. And I was like, what is this? And the person said, wow, that is truly my mother. Like I really described what and the person said, wait, that is my mother. I said, so if your mother is telling you, stop using her as an excuse for why you're doing things you should not be doing.
yeah. That's true.
Because we cannot blame our ancestors. We cannot use them as scapegoats. We are not to use our ancestors like they're pit bull dogs or dumb and pinchers, and they're going to go off and kill people and harm people and hurt people. I know I hear it all the time. There are times when there are spirits that may not be your ancestors. They might be your Rada spirits, your Wawa, your Rada, Orisha or Lawa or deities that are mounted on you. That's a whole nother conversation. Mawu, they ain't ready
Yeah,
for. They
that's
got
a
to
whole.
pay for that one. Mawu, they got to pay for
Yeah,
that conversation.
that is why they have to hook onto the academy and they get more of this stuff. And also,
Mm-hmm.
one more thing to be on the altar is money, like because in the spiritual realm, they need money. Just it's a sign that okay, you know, it's a sign of abundance, and they also will know that okay, wow, see whatever goes on here goes on there. Like it's just an upgraded version of what they're doing there. So anything we do here, they see it
Mm-hmm.
affects their life and definitely affects us too. So there should be a high denomination on the altar. Yeah, Someone says they keep money. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
true. That's good.
That's
Keep
it.
money, you keep valuable things that you know they like, and you see that
Mm-hmm.
their presence will be there all the time.
Sometimes you get dressed up and you get ready to go for a job interview, or you're about to have a special occasion, or you meet a new boy or a new man or new woman, and you feeling good, you about to go celebrate your birthday. Pause at your ancestor altar and let them see you remember that they are part of that celebration. You
Absolutely.
understand? Because they are
Yeah.
the reason you are able to have this birthday anniversary. They're the reason why this individual is in your life, because they're building up character in you. They're exposing you, they're guiding you, they're nudging you, they're doing whatever it is doing. So you include them. You include them. Hmm?
That is true.
All
That
right.
is true.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Mawu can't do anything because it's his day. He cannot do anything, but I can still do a few very quickly based upon our conversation. Thank you all for being here for Spiritually Speaking. And it has been a great pleasure to have Mawu here. We're going to be continuing to move forward and grow. Again, you can join the academy. You can come for a soul sabbatical in the month of September, the third week of September, third weekend in September. It is a small number. I'm not taking more than 3 people, maybe 4 if I really, really, really have to. But for the most part, it will be, and it's 3 different modules, right, that you're going to come in on. And we're going to do the sacred medicine. We're going to do one that's just for people who need to relax and do it. And then other things are about healing from the emotional, mental, and ancestral roots. And let me tell you something. Once you realize there's a pattern or a tendency, it's no longer a pattern or a tendency. It is a choice. That's why I say, once you realize there's a curse, if you continue to participate, then it is a choice. Yeah.
Yeah,
So come on
that's
and get a
good.
part of the sabbatical in September. Come and be a part. We're here in Arizona. We're going to be at the space here in Arizona to support you. But if you want to ask a question that is really burning that you really need, go ahead and drop your question, and we will support you in that. Mawu cannot divine, but that doesn't mean he ain't listening.
Yeah, the gods
So
are
he
always
can't
with us.
divine for y'all today with the shells or the bones today, but he at least is listening. All right. Go ahead, Mawu. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the gods are with us, like the ancestors are with us all the time. So even if we cannot do the nation, they can still guide you through us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so just sign on to the academy. We're going to teach you how to, connect with nature, teach you the languages that you need to know, teach you
Mm-hmm.
the herbs and their uses, and also make you connect with nature. Let me just give this information free because we really care about our followers and know that they must have life to listen to us. So there is something about the bamboo that most of y'all don't know, but I know that after sharing this information, most of you will have to go and do more research. Bamboo, just like the monstral plant, the magic leaf, the snake plant,
Mm-hmm.
the Adam fruit plant, you know, have special healing powers.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you 30% to 40% more oxygen that you need. And it brings prosperity. So you see that the bamboo never dies, even if there is dry season and the fire raises it down, it comes back to life. That is the power of the bamboo. So um, maybe we all can get a few of the bamboo plants in our porch, in our patio, in our living area. It helps to clear
Mm-hmm.
more energy. And definitely you have to get more of this information when you sign on to the academy. Yeah, so yeah, this is just for you. I'll teach more stuff about the bamboo leaves and what it does and what you're supposed to mix it with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's more on that sleeve. So when you contact Mama Gan F4, she will
They
know
don't know that
how to.
name, but yes, I am Mama God, Queen Mother Afua. That is me.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. Hmm. That's good. We are here. We are here. So no one has typed a question. So I guess you guys don't have any questions for right now. So we're gonna wrap up exactly. We're right on time. I promised you an hour and 30 minutes, Mawu, and I gave you an hour and 30 minutes. Thank you for being
Hmm.
here.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
absolutely.
now we got 2 questions. Of course, they all pop up, right? Is it a good time to transition to Caldwell Baker for my real estate business?
Mm.
I don't see a problem with Caldwell Banker. Um, the thing of it is that they're telling me to make sure that you're not running. So I'm not sure what that word is for you, but it's saying you should not run. So if you're thinking you're going to rush over there because of what's happening where you are, it's saying to calm that situation down so you can go forward and be clear on what germinated there. But the Caldwell Banker Real Estate does not see a problem. Is that orange? I see orange or something. Is that the color of the logo? I'm not familiar, so forgive me. Like a oranges, or I see oranges and red. So that's about feelings. And red is about, grounding yourself and knowing why you're doing what you're doing. Mawu, do you want to add anything? Did you get anything about that?
Yeah. This is not the right time for this,
Mhm.
and going into the end of the year at the right time. So do your research, do your due diligence, and make sure you don't rush into nothing.
Right. So you hear, so he's telling you the same thing, right? That I'm getting a lot of colors of orange around this idea and I could feel the emotion around that. So make sure that what you're doing is that you are pacing yourself and not running. The word I heard was running. I want you to be very clear. Okay. The word I heard was that running. And then Mawu just said, they said, wait till the end of the year. And I said, make sure that you are taking time out to understand why you want to move. Okay. All right. Peace and blessings. All right, Mawu, we got one more. Do you see me moving? And right. And you were right. My car started messing up on me at the wrong time. I just said you need to prepare. I thank you for the feedback.
Mm.
Mawu, it's on you. I don't know why I'm answering
When,
questions. It's on you. She says she
when
want
do
to know,
you see?
do you get
Mm.
anything on that? I heard Nate.
Yeah, as soon as you can, because yeah,
You
as soon
can
as
see
you
the
can.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, I actually heard a date, right? I actually saw the
Mm.
7th, but it's not this month on the 7th. It's more like October something. Like, you'll find a space in this next couple of weeks. You're going to find a space, but you won't actually get into that space until the first week of the month. So be very mindful. I feel like you're very close to that space that you're moving into. Don't delay. Matter of fact, I've also heard something else. I'm not sure what your situation is. Um, but it's almost like you gotta move in silence, Sierra. I'm not sure why that's telling me to tell you to be secretive a little bit about your move for a little
And
while.
also, and also, what I see now is that when you go to the new space, it definitely should be a new beginning, but you have to cleanse that space before you move in, because
Hmm.
the move the movement is not really what matters, but how it affects your life positively is what matters. So you should ensure that you clean your space before you move in, so that the results will be great.
Exactly. Exactly. Because the move is here.
Yeah.
The move is here. It's
Mm.
kind of overdue. Thank you, Sierra. Does any specific ancestor have anything to say with me? Mawu, I'm giving you first dibs. Sorry.
Your granddad has a message for you, and
Mm,
you should just do what you're doing and just have patience, because patience moves mountains. I don't know
mm,
you, but that is what I feel. That is what came to me now. So yeah.
wow. And you know what? That's the first thing that I saw too. I saw a male figure come forward and they're just so excited for you. Wow. See? This is just somebody totally different. Mystic Aries says, my question is, should I go or stay with Andy? Okay. Hmm.
And the name Andy comes with some kind of uh, I don't know, but I am not to discourage you, but you have to make sure you do your due diligence first, because the ancestors around you are just happy and supportive of you. So you should make sure that someone that comes in your life also believes in that dream, like believes in
Mhm.
that, so that they would not come and limit you, the connection with your ancestors.
Mhm.
So yeah, Andy sounds good, looks good, but you should know what you what you believe in and know where you're going. That is where you know where you're coming
Right. Because when I first read that, it said go or stay. And it said to me, you've already aware that there are some things you're going to have to hide from this person, which is never a good thing. Hmm. Okay. Wow. Remember when we are in transition, people come into our spaces and it's kind of like a test. Do you really believe that what you got coming is yours? Do you really want change and growth? I asked about the smaller brokerage. You stated she would expect me to know a lot of information. And yep, yep, I believe it. Hey, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. All right. Is there anything my ancestors want me to know moving forward in this new chapter for me? Mawu?
did you did you involve them in your celebration yesterday? Did you make time to connect with them? If yes, then you're fine. But if no, you have to connect with them because I see that you just celebrated your birthday, but you didn't make time, for them, and that could also be a very bad thing. Everyone must. Oh, okay, you did. Wow, then you are good,
Hmm.
good, and they got your back. You know, so no cost to worry.
Okay. Sharika, remember that when you celebrate, you, it is about you. You understand what I'm saying to you? You say you did celebrate your ancestors. Yep. Remember, your celebration is also about you too. So, yes, we include people to bind into the joy. Hey, baby, you're welcome. Okay, we've already talked to Mystic. All right. Hey, Sonia, Mama, just want to let you know that she's. Oh, thank you so much. Hey, Mama, how do you cleanse your space? Okay. Do you want to tell them how to cleanse your space? Basically, it's just coming
Yeah,
into a space, right? So go ahead and tell them a little bit of how to do that.
yeah. How to cleanse your space? There
Mhm.
is one leaf here that um, we call the audio Google, like the back to sender leaf,
Right.
and yes, going forward, maybe we have to get that to Amaga. So any of you that need that leaf would have access to it.
Mhm.
Now, you can also do a simple salt cleanse. Get some salt, use some rock salt, not the iodized salt. The iodized salt, has been iodized and really can now give you the results you need. So get your
Mhm.
rock salt, get your cloves, soak them in water, sprinkle them all around the space before you clean the place, and you can leave the rock salt under your doormat, okay? So that whilst you're mixing the rock salt and the clove solution in a container, you speak to it that you're moving to the new space. Anything that it was there, because let's all note the space you're going into, the realtor would not tell you that maybe someone died there before, or
Mhm.
was a medicine, or some evil practitioner lived there. You cannot know all those details. So the best thing you have to do is just to cleanse it. Say all those words that as I move into this space, I invite abundance. I clear any negativity. I break any spirit that would make me to go back. I invite all my ancestors to dwell in this four corner space. You ask for protection for your entire family, the kids. Once you're doing this, you're sprinkling the solution around the whole perimeter of your new place. So with that, I
Mm.
know you'll be fine. But going forward,
Mm.
the herbs that you all need for the cleansing, I'll ship it out to over to Mama Guy for, and when you log on to the academy, you have all those leads attached to the academy fees, and just pay something small for us to just make sure we are all okay, because nature needs us as we need nature.
Exactly. 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 That's it. That's it. Wow. All right. Thank you for watching the replay. We appreciate you. She says, Mom is sitting here with me right now. She just wanted to ask you to pray with her. Oh, I miss you, Mama Melba. Mama Melba, I'm always praying for you because I know the strength that you desire in this present moment. And I know I'm also hearing that sometimes you are beating yourself up, like you feel like you should do more or you should have done more. But what I'm hearing for you is that it's not about you doing more, it's about you now finally allowing the wisdom to come back to you. Yeah, I said wisdom. Mawu, you got anything for that?
Yeah, Mama should just be more relaxed.
Hmm.
She might feel she has not accomplished what you're supposed to accomplish in life, but what is coming is greater. Sometimes you might not really accomplish what you think should be made in life, but your offsprings will do that on your
Hmm.
behalf. So
That's it.
just relax, chill, take good care of yourself, and
That's it.
definitely the end will be great.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
And you are well since you've connected with us. You are well. You are protected. You are blessed. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
And so all remains well with you in the peace and
everything.
harmony that is you, that surrounds you. You're not abandoned. You're not alone. Everything is with you. Hmm. Yeah, everything is with you. Everything that is, because God is all, right? So there's
Yeah.
no reason for you to feel alone. Mm, good. Okay, babe. All right. So, with that being said, we are going to release Mawu. It, as he said, is very early in the morning, very early in the morning over there. So, we thank him for indulging with us for this last hour and 45 minutes. It is a pleasure. We'll be doing more things like this as we go forward because it's really important for us to take advantage of the opportunity to have conversations that sometimes people gatekeep, right? Like I want to bring people on to talk about in the academy. They're going to go a little, he's going to go a little deeper. Not telling you to convert or to you leave a practice, but to better understand some basic principles that are going across the board. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. If y'all didn't hear me say that, doesn't matter what practice you have, it is going to revert back to involving the ancestors, right?
Yeah.
It is what it
Absolutely.
is, right? So it is what it is. So go ahead and have a continued great evening, a great week. It is fine because everything is medakukue.
Yeah.
Medakukue.
Service to
Yeah.
humanity. So I am highly honored to be part of this um,
And I'm
great
honored.
community, and
Mm,
I know that together we are going to make life meaningful and everyone happy, at least
mhm.
now to be transition. And when we transition, we should know that we have to leave these legacies for our descendants to follow. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
That's
he
very
will be
spiritual.
back. He is one of our practitioners within eternal life. He's also a practitioner within the academy. So you'll be seeing and hearing from him more often. And just a matter of just being consistent. Remember, it's about reciprocity. So he can come, I can come. But if you are not in a reciprocating exchange of energy, when our energy fields connect, it limits us. So we don't want to be limited. We want to keep growing and expanding. Thanks again, Mawu. Mawu, Mawu, Mawu.
Relationship is smart.
Akpe, akpe, kaka, kaka.
No problem. So, have a
So
great
until
day.
next, yeah, Mondaboji. Hmm. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We'll talk to y'all again real soon. Thanks for joining us here. Again, you can follow us, tell 5 friends, tell 5 frenemies, tell 5 people that you love that we are here on Spiritually Speaking with Sister Afua. This is a place where we can have serious conversations that relate back to esoteric, metaphysical, spiritual, and even some religions, right? Because this is what it's about. We cannot separate ourselves. We must begin to fully integrate the knowledge of the divinity of the universe into our life. That's what it's about. All right. Until next time, continue peace and blessings you are. And remember that when things begin to cloud your way, make you feel like you just can't go on, stop, scream out nice and loud, and know that it's only a bad dream until you believe it. Take care.